Welcome back to the Total Focus Podcast, episode number 8. Our special guest this week, Alexxys Sheedy. She is a student at Full Sail University, which is a university that is founded in Orlando, Florida, and they focus on entertainment training. So sports broadcasting, web design, video game design, photography, videography. Basically, if you want to get into the industry, Full Sail University is the university, college that you need to go to. So I'm bringing Alexxys on to talk about her experiences. She's currently in the broadcast program, and she's excelling and doing phenomenal. And if you're interested in getting into broadcasting, stay tuned. So I'm really excited to have my friend Alexxys Sheedy from Full Sail in Orlando to come on the show and talk about her experience at Full Sail. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, I'm really excited because if you're in the entertainment world, you should know exactly what Full Sail is all about. So why don't you just give us a really an introduction, just in case we have some young ladies out there that have never heard of Full Sail before.
So right now I go to school at Full Sail for sportscasting. Dan Patrick just partnered with them, and it's a really cool program. All of my teachers have been in the field. They still currently work in the field, so they're constantly updating information and changing courses to make sure that you're as prepared as possible. And this goes for all of the fields in Full Sail. So every single degree program, all of the teachers are still working in their field and giving updates on the field to make sure that all the students are always getting up-to-date information and being able to get the best information.
But specifically, the program you're in is sports broadcasting.
Yes.
So, but at Full Sail, they offer programming, they offer videography, photography, sportscasting, anything in the entertainment environment. Basically, an apprenticeship, but they it's like a college where you have full courses. Is that correct?
Yeah, the courses are actually condensed into 20 months. I think the longest is maybe 28 months. So you're getting a 4-year degree in under 2 years.
Which is phenomenal because you're getting such a really focused education and then doing some just mindless, undergrad stuff. You're really focusing on getting right to your core subjects that you really want to work on.
Yeah, if you know exactly what you want to do, I highly recommend Full Sail. They really go after like exactly what you're looking for, like specifically sportscasting. I know that that's what I want to do, so they teach me everything that I would ever possibly do in the field. So anything from being on camera, we're constantly on camera and in the studio. They teach us how to work all the cameras, how to write our own scripts, how to go out in the field and video any of our stories. So it's a really cool experience. And we also have opportunities outside of school that they give us. They'll send us emails constantly about anything that's going on in the Orlando area, that even in our hometowns, if we can fly home for a weekend, they'll give us those opportunities to do and work with people.
Now, specifically for our female, because a lot of my listeners or viewers are females. Is this definitely a program that is really catered or really opening to women in general? How do you feel as a woman in your early 20s? Is this something that's definitely, it's not a boys' club is what I'm trying to say?
Oh, I mean, I definitely think that Full Sail's like mostly, I'm in class with mostly males, but they're really open to having me as part of their class and taking their courses. I never feel excluded. They are very welcoming and they want to see me succeed as much as possible. That's what my teachers tell me all the time. They just want to see us all succeed and do our best.
Well, that's the most important thing. I know a lot of our female listeners, sometimes they go to a school where there isn't any other people there supporting them. So it's good to know that you're in a program where they're really wanting you to succeed and be your best. So that's really important. And the reason why I want to talk about Full Sail is it's perfectly placed in Orlando because Orlando has become this like hubbub of like entertainment and sports. Like just talking to you the last couple of weeks, you literally could talk to anyone. You have baseball players that live here, football players, you have skaters, you have, am I missing anyone?
Yeah, we also have a
many-
lot of opportunities to work with just random events that come in for like a weekend or a week. So I had the opportunity to work at the Florida Cup game. So that's soccer. I got to be on the field looking and seeing everything that's going on with the media. I could talk to anyone I felt that I needed to. So it was a really good learning experience.
And how did you, how did the Full Sail conversation go? Because you were currently in college, correct?
Yeah, I went to West Virginia University for a totally different degree program. Okay. And actually going back
to... But you were excelling then, right?
Yeah.
You were getting A's or
I really did enjoy West Virginia. I don't have anything bad to say. I do feel that if you're a woman going into a field, that me specifically, I was an engineering student, so my classes were mostly guys there too. And I just didn't feel as welcomed, I would say, as I do at Full Sail. The classes were a lot larger, and I felt like it was kind of harder to learn. I mean, I'm not sure if that's for everyone, but for me personally, I feel a lot more comfortable in a small class where I can know exactly who my teacher is, and they know exactly who I am and what I'm about and my personality. And it's a lot easier for them to write letters of recommendation for you in the future for getting a job at Full Sail. Because they know that you spend so much time with them. You're always around your teachers and other classmates in everything you do.
Well, explain that, because class size is a huge thing. So you were telling me class sizes are really small, right?
Yeah, my class right now, we have about 6 students per month.
And that's incredible, because most of our friends here listening, their class sizes are at least 20. So to have the ability to be in a class size with 6 people and then 20, it's going to definitely give you a better program, be able to definitely teach you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel just being in a smaller class size, we have so many more opportunities to get into the studio. It obviously doesn't take as much time to go through, 20 students or 100 students in a class. We only have about 6 people, and we all get to present our stories back to back to back. So let's say I would go, and then I would have another chance to present my story. We get 2 takes, and then the other students would go, and we all get to watch each other and kind of critique each other and tell each other what we're doing wrong, what we're doing really well, how we can improve. And I think I learn the best that way. It's more of a hands-on experience, and I really like that.
So it sounds like is there any negatives with Full Sail? If they're always one-on-ones with you, I talking to you privately, you had basically said that your school schedule is a little erratic and it can be very intense.
Yeah.
Is that the trade-off? Is that it's a definitely 10 times more intense program?
Personally, I don't feel that it's any more challenging than a regular college course. It is packed into 1 month, so our classes run month to month instead of semesters. So we'll have 1 to 2 classes a month. If you have 2 classes, that's when it's a little more challenging, because a lot of times they'll put an online class and then a class where you still attend on campus. But if there's 2 on-campus courses, you almost have class Monday through Saturday, and the times typically are anywhere from 4-hour classes to 8-hour classes. So if this is something you really want to do and you really know what you want to do, sportscasting is something I really, really have a passion for. So me sitting in class for 8 hours is nothing. I really enjoy my classes. So me personally, I don't think it's that much more challenging, but I know some people just can't pay attention for that long. And the only other thing I would say is if you need to have a job, it's really challenging to find a job and still go to school at Full Sail.
I just wanted to take 1 second from this great interview and talk about our sponsor of the week, Mid-Atlantic Video and Photography Productions. No matter if you're planning a wedding, a special event, or you just need an amazing headshot, they are the team to get the job done. You can reach out to them at 443-422-3830. Again, that's 443-422-3830. Or you can just go right to their website at mavpp.com. Now let's get right back to the show and listen to this great interview. Well, it's going back to that apprenticeship idea that when you're going to, if you want to be a plumber, you're going to work with that plumber for his 8-hour shift, and you're going to learn every single little thing. So is that a good way to?
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. And not only are we in class, we get a lot of opportunities on the field. So each month we have integrative learning, which is basically outside of class things that we need to do. So this month I had 24 hours that I had to complete to pass the course. And I did this by calling baseball games. We work with Rollins College, and we get to call games or attend them and just see how all the players are doing, keep score, and write down like little interesting facts. We can interview the players, interview the coaches. We also do that with their basketball, softball, and lacrosse. And there's probably a couple other things that we do with them. So we also get to do, I said earlier how I got to do the Florida Cup game. I also got to work at the Pro Bowl. We get NFL experiences sometimes. And I got to work at the Cure Bowl, which was really cool because I got to be up in the booth. And
now, what's the Cure Bowl?
The Cure Bowl is
that part of? Is it one of the bowl games they do for college?
Yes. So the Cure Bowl is based in Orlando, and this year it was Lafayette and Tulane. So I got to attend the press conference and got to record and transcribe everything. I got to actually talk to some of the players, ask questions. And then on game day, we got to sit up in the booth, see everything that was going on, how everyone keeps score and keeps track of what's going on. And it was a really cool experience because we got to run papers from like the locker room, and it was really stressful, but a really good learning experience.
I mean, it sounds like it's the best opportunity for someone who's going to be in the entertainment and be on the side of being a reporter. I mean, I don't.
Definitely.
I'm not. To me, it doesn't. I don't hear any negatives. I mean, if they're giving you the opportunity, the minute you step in the building to go on the field, interview professional athletes, and if that's what you want to do, and that can transition to anything. You could work at television, interview a famous star. It'd be the same thing. You'd want to, if they're having a baby, you'd want to ask them creative ways of asking, is it a boy or girl? Like, you don't want to just like ask them. You'd want to kind of like, because they're going to evade your questions. So they're going to teach you how. So it sounds like all the tools they're providing you is going to, no matter if you go into sports or if you go into entertainment, it's, am I right there?
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity. I personally don't have any negatives. I'm really happy at Full Sail, and I would tell anyone if they really know what they want to do and that's the field that they're interested in, go for it.
So going back, you're doing very well at college on the East Coast, and you have this itching. So now you had mentioned that this Dan Patrick program. Now, was this something that popped up that you just happened to find out? Like, how what's the story that got you there?
So about a little over a year ago, it was I think last January, Dan Patrick, that's the first month that they started the sportscasting degree program. And sportscasting is not offered anywhere else in the United States. It's only offered at Full Sail right now. And how I found out about it was I was constantly coming home to my mom talking about football, and she was always asking me, she's like, how do you know all this? Like, how do you know all these players? How did you learn about football and everything that was going on? And it was mainly because I went to West Virginia, which is a really big football school, and that's what I was really interested in. And I think it took me going to college there, like for the first time, to figure out what I really wanted to do, because I felt going into college, I still was kind of confused, and my parents kind of pushed me into a degree program. And I was constantly telling my mom how I didn't really enjoy what I was doing at that moment. And one of our friends brought up about a sportscasting degree program, which was Dan Patrick's, and I applied online in July, and I ended up getting accepted almost, I think, not even a week later. And then at the end of July, I flew down to Orlando, looked at apartments and houses, and took a tour of the school, and I was sold. Everything they told me, it's been just so surreal. It's been amazing. And
now, would you suggest for our listeners out there, and I guess I want to get your opinion, would you say that the schooling that you have was like your undergrad, like even if you didn't finish your program, it's good to maybe go to a couple years and have those fundamentals, and then like this is like your master's program. Like it sounds like, because to me it sounds more intense. I don't know about you, but like if you're saying that you're spending 8 hours and then there are 12 courses or 24 courses in the course of in a year, that's a lot of.
Yeah.
'Cause
Me
that's usually what a master
personally,
program is.
me going into college not knowing what I wanted to do, I think it was a good choice for me to go to a bigger school and kind of navigate like who I was and then decide what I wanted to do. And just Full Sail is like so focused that you really, if you don't know what you want to do, I wouldn't recommend going there because it's very like niche. Like I just feel if you are positive that, like I have so many people in my class that are 18, just fresh out of high school, and they're in the degree program and they're doing great. So I really think it's more of like personality. You need to evaluate yourself and understand how much work college is in general, and then cramming 4 years down into 2. I definitely think you need to think about it and understand how it's going to go.
But does it sound like, I mean, are you getting the impression that they treat it like a master's program? Like it, because especially the smaller classes and the more.
I think that if they had more students, they would. I just don't think that many people know about the sportscasting degree program yet, because the classes I'm in have enough chairs to fit 100 people in. It's just that it's so small right now, and it's still a really new program that not that many people know about it.
But the other classes they offer, like programming, they have 100 people in those classes.
I'm not really positive about the amount, but I know I have taken some classes, like new media tools. We had 100 people in that class.
So some of the classes are pretty big, but the ones that are specialized in your field at this point are really small. Because so you're going to school, you get into Full Sail. How was the experience of transitioning and coming down here? Was that a big experience? Like have you ever done that before? Like what's your if you're never left home before and you need to do that, like do you have any recommendations or any pitfalls that you fell through that you recommend for people to help them out? Because coming here is a big deal.
I would highly recommend coming down and visiting a couple of times or getting a roommate. I don't have a roommate, so I personally don't have a lot of friends here. I just happen to have a couple of people from my high school that lived in the area, so I can see them sometimes, but it does get lonely. So I would recommend getting a roommate and kind of getting comfortable with them before you move down and like actually sign a lease with them. I think that would be like the best bet. Overall, I had a really hard time finding housing because Full Sail doesn't have on-campus housing. I think that's something they're actually working on right now because I just took a survey for them, but right now they don't have any like on-campus housing. So they do try to like match you up with a roommate unless you don't want a roommate. I would suggest that if you're fresh out of high school that you should probably take a roommate, just because I know that going to West Virginia and being assigned a roommate, it was really helpful because I had a best friend for all 4 years. And we're still really close. She lives in Chicago. I'm in Orlando. So we stay in touch, and that's the only thing I could really recommend.
Well, I absolutely agree. Especially if you're a newbie and you're used to your parents washing your clothes, you need like some moral support.
My family comes down like almost once a month. My sister comes down, my mom, my dad. So they come down for all holidays because with Full Sail, you don't really get a break. You get about a week, sometimes less than a week for Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas. You sometimes get 2 weeks. And I think we get a break in like during the 4th of July.
Well, like you were saying, this is a full year. This isn't partial. You basically have school all year round.
Yeah.
So what's the environment like here down here? Is it, when you're not at school, is there anything to do? Everyone knows that Orlando's got the theme parks, but like for someone who's not going to go to the theme park and actually, because you can't go to the theme park every day. I mean, the average ticket to go to a theme park is over $100. So is there anything that's like cool, just laid back? What type of town is this?
So one of my favorite places to go is Wekiva Island, and it's really laid back. It's more of like a local spot. I don't think that many tourists would go there and know about it.
That sounds perfect place for me.
Yeah, they have a nice like bar set up. They have like a dock, and you can rent kayaks, go kayaking, paddleboarding down the river, and it's really scenic. The river goes to a state park, and you'll see alligators, otters. Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually a really fun time though, and a lot of people my age go there, so it's a good way to meet people too.
Are you having you said you don't have a lot of friends here, and everyone, just so you know, she's drop dead gorgeous, so she says that, like, but every hot girl says she doesn't have friends. Is there like at least a good amount of 20 to 30-year-olds to mingle and talk to? I mean,
oh yeah,
is the dating pool, what's your like opinion on the dating pool? Is this a average or a good area to date? Like, what's your opinion?
I personally, there's so many colleges around here. I couldn't even name half of them. And I drive past like, I think 10 colleges just on my way to Full Sail every day. So there's definitely, there's a lot of young people. And another big thing down here, everyone's told me, I haven't had a chance to go yet, but it's called Wind Down Wednesday. And everyone goes out downtown at like pretty early, like once they get off work, and until 9 o'clock, I think you pay $20 and it's all you can drink wine. And
sounds like your name's on that one.
Yeah.
So, well, I would encourage you to do that. That sounds like a good opportunity to network.
Yeah.
And to meet some new people. I just wanted to take one extra second and talk about our sponsor of the week, Mid-Atlantic Video and Photography Production. No matter if you're planning a wedding and you need a wedding videographer, you're doing a music video, or you're doing a commercial, they are the team to get the job done. You can reach out to them at 443-422-3830. Again, that's 443-422-3830. Or you can go right to their website at mavpp.com. Now let's get right back to this great interview. It sounds like the social environment. How would you rate the nightclubs on Saturday night? Are they decent compared to home in Pennsylvania?
I think they're really similar to Pittsburgh. I don't know how many people listen from Pittsburgh, but
it's a city, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger. There's a lot more people. The only thing I would say is be careful, because there's a lot of like human trafficking since it's so close to other countries, and you know, that's the only thing I would say.
So, sounds like Full Sail is an awesome place to go, especially if you're going to focus on the field. But if you're not 100% sure that you want to go into entertainment field, are you saying that's where you shouldn't spend that money, because this is a very expensive college to go to? This isn't one of the most affordable ones.
Yeah, I would honestly, if you don't know what you want to do, I would take a year, maybe not even go to school, and just kind of play around, look into what you think you could want to do, even if it's 6 months, not even a full year, and just kind of like evaluate your personality, what you're good at, what you think you would want to do for the rest of your life, because it's a really big step. And that's something I really struggled with. And I think going to a 4-year college before this really just helped me focus on what I really wanted to do. And I also think that you should come down and visit Full Sail and just take a tour of the campus, because they're so eager and like helpful. That's one of the things I really like about the school. Anytime I have a question, there's always someone available to answer it. They're so willing to help you and see you succeed. So I just think that if you don't know what you want to do, maybe take a couple months and evaluate it. Or even if you're still in high school and you just want to like look over now, take your senior year to just think about what you want to do. And if you can't figure it out, take a year at a community college or take a year at a state college. And I think that it could really help.
So now that you're transitioning, you only have a year left in your program. Yeah. So you're probably starting to apply for jobs. So what do you think is your ideal job, and then what job you think that would be like the minimum you think you'd take?
So right now, I really have been getting like a really good experience with Full Sail's giving me so many opportunities. And one of the things I came into school thinking I wanted to do was sideline reporting for the NFL, because I feel most passionately about football, and I used to have horses. So I've been learning a lot about how to get involved, and just the Kentucky Derby, we watched it the other day, and just doing like reporting on that, I think would be so awesome. Honestly, coming out of college, I think I would take any job that would be related to my field. I mean, there's obviously jobs I would dislike, but I just went to a seminar the other day, and the guy presenting was talking about how he hated golf. And I'm not the biggest fan of golf either, but it's a really big thing here in Orlando. And he said that he has had an 18-year career doing golf. And it's not something that he particularly loved, but he still loved all the aspects of that went into making the films and the commercials and just broadcasting in general. He still really loved that. And just because it wasn't, football, it was just golf, he still really enjoyed it. So I definitely think that just even getting the experience would be nice.
I mean, to me, when you say 18 years, that sounds like job security to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the worst job you could think of is being part of the PGA tour as being a sideline reporter, I would take that.
Yeah, it's still really a really awesome opportunity. And if anything, if I really end up not liking it, it's good to put on a resume. It's a good experience.
So how do the professors, do they ever comment on like good areas to live after school, like where you should apply, like that kind of stuff? Like, are they more focusing on the core curriculum? Are they not, like, how, I don't know how they, sometimes certain colleges, they'll recommend where to live for your field, like, so do they help you in that way yet?
We haven't really discussed it that much. I think Orlando is obviously a really good place to start since the school's here, and there's just so many organizations that are based in Orlando and just opportunities. So many people just want to come to Orlando. So I think that Orlando would just be a really good place to start. And since I already live here, so whenever I'm applying, I don't have to, change locations for them. So I feel like that gives you more likability to be picked. A lot of them say if you want to go back home, because I know a lot of people in my classes are really big hometown fans. So a lot of them plan on moving back to where they were from originally. So I think it's more like kind of up in the air, and wherever you have the opportunity to get a job, you should just take it and just kind of learn from that and build your experience.
I think that's in most things in life, is that if someone's going to give you opportunity and you can live on the salary they're giving you, might as well take it.
Yeah.
It's just like buying the first house. That first house might not be the one that you want to stay in the rest of your life, but it's a starter house. That's why they call it a starter house, right? So I guess, is there anything that we didn't talk about Full Sail and your experience that we should tell my listeners? Because I really want to, the whole reason behind the radio show is to give women an opportunity to know that you can go out and you can win a crown, or you can be the best actor or actress possible, and no one can ever hold you back. So is there anything that we didn't enlighten our viewers on that is really important that you think we should talk about?
I just really think Full Sail is a great place to be. I think they're just so welcoming for women, men, anyone really. They're just so eager to help, and they want you to succeed. I just feel like all the teachers, it's not like they're above you. They're trying to get on your level and be more of a mentor instead of an instructor, I would say.
This is part of the show where I give you an opportunity to, as long as you'd like, to give you a little plug. So if you'd like, do you want them to contact you on Instagram or Twitter?
Yeah,
do you
if
have any
anyone,
questions? So what would be the easiest way? Do you have a website?
I have an Instagram right now. I'm still working on my website currently. But anyone feel free to contact me on Instagram.
Are you looking for any particular, are you looking for photographers for modeling? Are you looking for videographers to help you with the B-roll? Like what are the things that, if someone's listening to, what would help you?
The main thing I'm focusing on right now is modeling, and I just want to be in front of the camera as much as possible. I want to feel really comfortable. So I feel like photography and modeling would be the best way to do that. I'm open for anything, honestly, any kind of, I know a lot of people have contacted me about doing music videos. I'm open to that. So anything, just feel free to ask.
I haven't heard you say, but I'm going to add, you also want opportunities to talk on camera as much as possible.
Yes.
So, I would really suggest if you have a speaking role, even if it's a couple lines, or if you have a movie and she can play a newscaster in it. You know, maybe Godzilla is crushing the city, and she can play the newscaster. Am I wrong?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, you know, please think of her as someone that would be really good at that. One of the things I think is really cool that you didn't mention, but I'm definitely going to, I had the opportunity to spend the week here with you here in Orlando and learn all about Full Sail, was they provide you an opportunity to actually do like full like newscast performances. So you get to do like these cool B-rolls. So it's not just like you're sitting in class and you're at a table. You're literally in front of a camera that's a $10,000 camera with a green screen. They have a table. So we're talking about real studio quality. If you were in Baltimore and you were at Channel 13 and you wanted to get that experience of reading off the teleprompter, doing the show, that's what we're talking about. So she's getting this opportunity to really, and on top of it, they're giving you the B-roll, so they want you to put that part of your sizzle reel so that it's ready for you to go to your job interviews.
Yeah, we actually get the opportunity. I write all my own scripts. I put together all the videos to make my teases, my bumps, any stories that I talk about. We put them all together ourselves and make sure that our scripts match up with them. So I think that's one of the coolest things at Full Sail, and one of the coolest things that they have to offer is they have a full studio that they allow you to use, and each class that we take in the sportscasting degree program, we at least get 1 day in the studio. So I actually post my reels on Instagram so anyone can see them and kind of get a feel for what we're doing.
So I know you're new to the podcast game, but
yeah.
This is when I say you get to promote. You need to say your Instagram.
Okay, so my Instagram is AlexxyRae0129, and it's spelled LEXXYRAE0129.
Now, and everyone, as you guys all know, I have a learning disability. I have problems spelling and reading, so all of her information will be in the bio at the bottom on YouTube, and also on the RSS feed. So if you have a reading problem like myself, it's just there. You can click on it. Otherwise, she just told you how to find her. Thank you so much, Lexi, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I really hope that this really helps you get some more attention, and I hope this was really fun coming on our show.
Yeah, it was a great time. Thank you.
I want to thank Alexxy for coming on the show and giving us an insight on what it really takes to be a broadcast journalist in today's society. All the experience that she's learning and everything that goes into it, and all the things you can learn at Full Sail University. We also want to say a special shout out and thank you to Alexxy for hosting us this week here in Florida. So we truly appreciate her open hospitality and truly appreciate her insight, and we appreciate her coming on the show. If you are looking to hire someone and you need a great public speaker, please reach out to her. I'm going to put all of her contact information below. Again, as you guys know, the show is going to be releasing every Thursday, so please subscribe on YouTube and to our feed through iTunes. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Please comment, send us emails, let us know how you think we're doing. Let us know of anybody you want us to interview. And until then, I'll see you guys back next Thursday.